So just the other day, a friend and I, we went to go shoot in a small town about an hour away from where we live. So on the way there and on the way back, we had some great conversation about photography and more specifically film photography. And he mentioned an idea that kind of sparked inspiration for this video that I'm doing here today. And what he kind of brought up was he wanted to do a class pretty much around the basics of film photography. He runs and operates a photo lab, which he does development and all that stuff for film. And he mentioned that a couple of people have been going in there and asking like some questions on how to get started. So he was like, oh, maybe I should just do a class. I didn't think it was a good idea at first because I'm like, what would you teach? Like, we already know everything. But then he came back with a good response, and that was the things that you and I, the people who practice film photography, or photography in general even, the things that you and I already know, such as aperture, shutter speed, ISO, how to load film, how to unload film, all that stuff that we kind of take for granted, all that knowledge we take for granted, people who are just getting into the field, they have no idea, like they don't know, it's completely new to them. So that conversation is kind of what inspired today's video. And I kind of wanted to see maybe making a small series of just film basics to kind of, in case you're watching this or in the future, you can just come back in reference to or share with people who just might be getting started into film themselves. So for today's video, we're going to be going over how to load a 35mm film camera. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into today's video. Let's go. All right, so let me try this again because I've recorded this once through. Turns out my mic was shot, so there was no audio. So let me try this again. So what we'll need to get started, obviously your 35mm camera. In my case, my Minolta X700, and you'll need your choice of 35mm film. I'm gonna put the film to the side right now because we won't really be focusing on that for the first part of it. So starting with your camera here, what you'll want to do, obviously we'll need to face it away from us so we can have the back exposed to us. So step one, we're gonna have to get the back compartment door opened, and to do so, on most 35mm cameras, you're gonna see a little lever right here on the left side. One way or another, you should be able to flip open this little tab here. So once you have that flipped open, we're gonna lift this up. Once you lift it up halfway, you're gonna feel some resistance. What you're gonna want to do is pull it up even harder, a little bit harder, and then that should pop open the back door, and you should see something along the lines of this. So once we have our camera opened up like so, that's when we're gonna want to grab our film. And what we'll need from the film, you're gonna want to hold it in a way where it's, if you see this little top piece that's sticking up, that you need face down. And you're gonna need this little like extended piece with the information of how many exposures and your ISO. You're gonna need that facing to the right. So what we're gonna wanna do with our camera in hand, pretty much just insert the film. It should fit pretty easily into the back of our camera like so. What you're gonna want to do then is close this little top piece right there on the actual camera to kind of lock in the canister in place. And if for some reason it doesn't close all the way, let me give you an example. So if for some reason it stays stuck like that, just go ahead and just twist the lever and it should just fall right into place like so. So once we have our canister and it's locked into place there, what we're gonna want to do is grab a little bit of our film, and this is something that I wanted to mention also. On my Minolta, and then on some other cameras I know for sure, this part, how you feed it into the spool, that's going to be a little bit different. On mine, there's only this little half slit down here. I know on some other cameras there's a much bigger slit that goes all the way up and down the camera. So in your case, it might be a little bit different, but the principle is still the same throughout all cameras. Just know your camera might not look exactly like this, might be a little bit different, but just know the principle is still the same. So what we want to do is grab some our film lead here, and we want to pretty much feed it into the spool like so, until it gets caught in there. And then you're gonna want to, well, first, if your camera uses batteries, make sure it's on, because then it's not gonna advance. We're gonna want to advance our film so it catches a part of it, like so. Before you keep going, make sure that your film holes, as you see, the film has holes on the top and the bottom. Make sure that those are caught on the sprockets, which is going to be these little plastic teeth thing that's going to be to the left of the spool. So just right here, you're going to see them right there. Make sure that the sprockets are catching onto the holes, pretty much indicating that it's going to be capturing the film and advancing it properly. So there's two ways to check that. Obviously, while you're still loading, if you wind it, make sure you fire. If you wind it, you should see the sprockets align perfectly with the holes of the film. And then a second way is once you already close your camera. So once it's closed because you think you loaded it properly, a second way to check is right up here. Whenever you go ahead and advance, you should see the rewind lever turning, I should say, indicating that the film is advancing. And just keep firing. And we want to go ahead and wind our film until our counter on your camera reaches either 0 or 1, depending on on how your camera starts. Mine starts at 1. But yeah, that is pretty much how you load a 35mm camera. All right, everyone. So yeah, so that is how you load film into a 35mm camera. I hope you found this video somewhat helpful when it came to how to kind of get started with film. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I might keep going with this series of like film basics. I by no means do I know everything that there is to know about film. The way I showed it is the way that's worked for me. So if it's not exactly the way you do it, apologies, don't come after me. But yeah, if you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a like, leave a comment, or even share it with somebody that you know that might be getting started in film themselves. Just to kind of get them going and give them a resource to kind of just keep coming back and visiting in case they have any questions. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, leave a like, drop a comment, like I mentioned, if you found this video any kind of helpful, and follow my Instagram. I'm posting a lot more there recently. I've been shooting a lot more. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, you guys. See you on the next one. What the fuck was this, bro? What the fuck am I doing? Yo, what is up? And no, what the fuck am I doing with my hands? Yo, so what is up and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Don't say how's it going? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Nope. And we are back with another video on this. No. Hello and welcome. And for you that are subscribed, welcome back. Nope. Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. No. Yo, what is up and welcome back. Nope. Yo, so what is up and welcome to this YouTube video. In this video, I'm going to be showing you, or